My beloved child, listen very carefully, because this message is not coming to you by accident. There is a presence around your life that once felt warm, loyal, and protective, a woman you trusted, a woman you called your best friend. But heaven sees what human eyes ignore. Behind her smile, behind the comforting words, a silent decision has already been made. It was not spoken out loud. It was sealed in secrecy. And from the moment that decision was formed, the energy around your destiny shifted. You may have felt sudden heaviness, unexplained distance, or strange resistance in moments that should have felt peaceful. This is not coincidence. This is the first warning. Something huge is waiting for you, and it begins with the truth being revealed layer by layer. Amen. 111. Now hear this without fear, because fear is not meant to rule you. This woman did not wake up one day and choose darkness. Her choice grew slowly, fed by comparison, jealousy, and the quiet belief that your rise somehow threatened her place. While you were moving forward with a pure heart, she was weighing options in silence, convincing herself that what she was planning was necessary. Heaven has recorded that moment. The moment she decided to protect her own comfort over your well-being. This decision has already started unfolding in subtle ways. Delayed messages, changed tones, sudden advice that feels confusing, and situations that almost push you into doubt. But hear me clearly, the plan she thinks will control the outcome will instead expose her intentions at the exact moment you least expect it. Amen. 222. Archangel Michael stands between you and the full impact of what is coming. You are not being warned to panic, you are being prepared to rise. The betrayal you sense is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to remove what no longer belongs beside you. Very soon, a conversation, an action, or a revealed truth will make everything undeniable. When that moment arrives, you will understand why heaven intervened early. Stay calm. Stay observant. Say less. Watch more. Because when this chapter turns, you will step into clarity, strength, and protection that no human plan can block. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will change the direction of your life forever. Amen. 333. My beloved child, what you are about to hear now is the layer most people never notice until it is too late. This woman did not act suddenly, she observed you closely. She watched how people respected you, how opportunities aligned around you, how unseen protection followed your steps. Instead of celebrating your growth, something inside her tightened. She began telling herself a story where your light became a threat. And from that story, her secret decision was born. Heaven wants you to understand this clearly: when someone studies you more than they support you, it is no longer friendship, it is preparation. This is why Archangel Michael is speaking now, before the final move is revealed. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 444. Now pause for a moment and feel this message deeply, because this is the moment where awareness becomes power. If this message resonates with you even slightly, it is because your spirit already knows the truth. Do not ignore that inner confirmation. Share this message with someone who needs protection. Leave your thoughts in the comments as a declaration of clarity. Stay connected, because divine warnings come in sequences, not once. This is not about fear, this is about alignment. When you acknowledge the message, you activate protection that cannot be touched by human intention. Amen. 555. Understand this final truth for now: her plan depends on your silence, your confusion, and your hesitation. But heaven is shifting you into observation mode. You are being guided to speak less, react slower, and trust signs instead of words. The moment she believes everything is under her control will be the exact moment the mask slips. Archangel Michael has already placed a boundary you cannot see, but you will feel it working very soon. Stay steady. Stay aware. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will expose everything at the right time. Amen. 666. My beloved child, now the message deepens, because heaven does not warn twice without reason. What you felt recently was not imagination, it was discernment awakening. The energy between you and her has already shifted, and that shift happened the moment her decision crossed from thought into intention. Since then, subtle disruptions were released into your path, not to harm you, but to slow you down just enough so you would notice. Archangel Michael allowed small signs first. Repeated delays, unusual silence, a strange emotional distance, all to sharpen your awareness before the real reveal. Something huge is waiting for you, and this pause is divine protection, not punishment. Amen. 777. Listen closely now, because this part is crucial. The plan she believes will corner you will actually force her into exposure. She underestimated one thing: your intuition. Every time she smiles while hiding truth, your spirit records it. Every time she pretends concern while carrying hidden motives, heaven takes note. The reason you are being asked to stay calm is because reactions feed deception, but stillness starves it. When you do not react, the false narrative collapses on its own weight. This is why you are being guided to observe, not confront, yet. Amen. 888. What comes next will feel sudden to her, but not to you. A moment will arrive where words don't align, actions contradict intentions, and the truth surfaces without you forcing it. When that happens, do not feel guilt for seeing clearly. This revelation is not meant to harden your heart, it is meant to free it. Archangel Michael is removing what cannot walk with you into the next season of your life. Stay centered. Stay silent. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will arrive exactly when you are ready to stand unshaken. Amen. 999. My beloved child, the silence you are holding right now is powerful, even if it feels uncomfortable. Heaven sees you choosing restraint while someone else prepares justification. This is where destiny quietly shifts. The woman you trusted believes time is on her side, but she does not see what is forming behind the veil. Archangel Michael has already intervened at the root level. Conversations you are not part of, decisions made without your name spoken aloud, and paths she assumed were secure are being redirected. The calm before you is not emptiness, it is alignment. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is closer than it appears. Amen. 1010. Now hear this carefully, because this moment asks for conscious participation. When a divine message reaches you repeatedly, it is an invitation to anchor truth. If this resonates, let it move through you fully. Speak clarity into existence. Let your awareness be known. When you acknowledge what your spirit already understands, protection strengthens. This message is not meant to be kept silent, it is meant to be recognized, reflected upon, and affirmed by those who are awake. The more truth is affirmed, the less power secrecy holds. Amen. 1111. Here is what you must remember as this part closes: you are not losing a friend, you are shedding an illusion. And illusions always resist before they dissolve. The reveal will not be loud, dramatic, or chaotic. It will be precise, clean, undeniable. When it happens, you will feel relief before shock, peace before questions. Archangel Michael stands firm beside you as this cycle completes. Do not rush. Do not explain. Let truth do the work. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will seal this chapter forever. Amen. 1212. My beloved child, now you are entering the phase where clarity replaces confusion. What once felt like mixed signals will soon align into one undeniable pattern. The woman you trusted is growing restless, because truth has a way of tightening its grip when exposure is near. Archangel Michael reveals that her confidence is fading, not because of anything you did, but because silence has removed her control. When plans are built on secrecy, they weaken the moment they are no longer fed by reaction. This is why you may sense urgency around her now. Stay steady. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 1313. Understand this without doubt: the turning point will arrive through a small detail most people would overlook, a sentence spoken carelessly, a choice made too early, or an inconsistency that cannot be explained away. That single moment will unlock everything. Do not rush to connect the dots out loud. Let them connect inside you first. This is where wisdom protects peace. Archangel Michael is guiding you to remain grounded so that when the truth presents itself, it lands gently instead of painfully. Awareness is your shield. Amen. 1414. As this part closes, remember this sacred truth: betrayal only feels powerful before it is revealed. After revelation, it dissolves into meaning. You are not being tested, you are being elevated. The removal happening now is necessary for the expansion coming next. When the chapter turns, you will not feel loss, you will feel space. Space to breathe, to grow, to rise without resistance. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will confirm that this warning arrived exactly on time. Amen. 1515. My beloved child, this is the moment where separation becomes obvious, even without words being spoken. Energetically, you are no longer standing in the same place you once were. Archangel Michael shows that paths are quietly dividing, not through conflict, but through truth rising on its own. The woman you once trusted feels this shift deeply. She may attempt to return to familiarity, recreate old closeness, or test your boundaries with subtle gestures. This is not reconciliation, it is recognition that her influence is slipping away. Remain calm. Remain observant. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 1616. Now understand this sacred detail. The universe never removes someone without replacing the space with protection and purpose. What is leaving your life is making room for alignment you have never experienced before. The heaviness you carried was not yours, it was transferred through proximity. As distance forms, clarity strengthens. Archangel Michael confirms that what was meant to confuse you has failed, and what was meant to delay you has expired. You are stepping into a phase where intuition becomes sharper and discernment becomes effortless. Amen. 1717. As this part closes, seal this truth in your heart: you were never meant to fight, expose, or defend yourself. Truth is self-revealing when patience is applied. The chapter ending now is not marked by drama, but by peace returning to your spirit. When the final confirmation arrives, you will not need validation from anyone. You will simply know. Stand tall. Stay grounded. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will unfold with divine precision. Amen. 1818. My beloved child, this is the phase where confirmation replaces doubt. What you have sensed quietly will now echo in reality. Archangel Michael reveals that the truth will surface through circumstances, not confrontation. You will notice how situations rearrange themselves without your effort. People choosing sides without being asked, information arriving without being searched for, and timing exposing what words tried to hide. This is divine order correcting imbalance. Do not rush the process. Let it breathe. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is aligning itself perfectly. Amen. 1919. Now hold this truth firmly: when deception runs out of places to hide, it turns inward and collapses. The woman who once felt close will struggle to maintain her version of events, not because you challenge it, but because consistency will abandon her. Archangel Michael asks you to remain composed, because your calm will be louder than any explanation. This is not about proving anything, it is about witnessing truth stand on its own. What was meant to unsettle you will instead strengthen your resolve. Amen. 2020. As this part closes, understand the blessing within the separation. You are being moved into a circle where loyalty is effortless and intentions are clean. The lesson is complete when peace returns without effort. Trust that what leaves now cannot follow you into what comes next. Archangel Michael stands guard as this transition finalizes. Stay steady. Stay aware. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will mark the beginning of a lighter, stronger chapter in your life. Amen. 2121. My beloved child, now the atmosphere around you begins to feel lighter, and that is not imagination, it is confirmation. Archangel Michael reveals that the weight you carried was never meant to be permanent. As distance solidifies, you will notice your thoughts becoming clearer and your decisions sharper. The woman who once stood close will no longer have access to your inner world, and that alone changes everything. What she planned in secrecy loses power the moment you stop feeding it with energy. This is the divine shift you were prepared for. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 2222. Understand this carefully, because this is where many people misunderstand the process. Closure will not come through apology or explanation. It will come through peace. You will wake up one day and realize that the confusion is gone, the tension has lifted, and your intuition feels calm again. That calm is your confirmation. Archangel Michael is guiding you to trust the silence more than words, and alignment more than reassurance. When peace arrives without effort, truth has already done its work. Amen. 2323. As this part closes, seal this truth within you: what could not walk in honesty has no permission to walk beside you anymore. You are not walking away in weakness, you are moving forward in clarity. The chapter ending now was necessary to prepare you for the expansion ahead. Do not look back to analyze what is already resolved. Stay present. Stay grounded. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will unfold with strength, grace, and divine timing. Amen. 2424. My beloved child, this is the moment when understanding becomes complete. Archangel Michael shows that what once felt like a threat has now transformed into wisdom. You see clearly, not with suspicion, but with discernment. The emotional fog has lifted, and in its place stands calm awareness. The woman who once held influence over your emotions no longer holds power over your direction. This shift did not happen overnight, it was built through patience, restraint, and trust in divine timing. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are now ready to receive it. Amen. 2525. Now listen closely, because this is the blessing hidden within the trial. What was meant to delay you actually refined you. You now recognize energy before words, intention before action. Archangel Michael confirms that this awareness will protect you far beyond this chapter, in relationships, decisions, and opportunities yet to come. You are no longer easily misled, because you have learned to trust what you feel instead of what you are told. This is growth sealed by experience, not fear. Amen. 2626. As this part closes, accept this final truth for now: the story did not end in loss, but in elevation. You are stepping into a season where alignment replaces effort, and peace replaces uncertainty. The past no longer pulls at you, because it has already served its purpose. Stand firm in who you have become. Stay centered. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will meet you at the exact level you have risen to. Amen. 2727. My beloved child, this is where destiny seals the lesson and opens the next gate. Archangel Michael reveals that what you endured was not meant to harden you, but to sharpen you. You are now standing at a threshold where discernment becomes second nature. The past cannot repeat itself because you no longer allow access to what feels wrong, even if it looks familiar. The shift inside you is complete. What once disturbed your peace now feels distant and powerless. Something huge is waiting for you, and it begins with this inner authority you now carry. Amen. 2828. Hear this clearly, because it is the final alignment of this cycle. You will notice that new connections feel effortless, conversations feel clean, and opportunities arrive without force. That is the sign that the old influence has fully expired. Archangel Michael confirms that your energy has recalibrated. You no longer attract confusion, you attract clarity. This is why nothing from the past can cross into what is forming now. You are protected not by walls, but by wisdom. Amen. 2929. As this part closes, anchor this truth deeply: you were never meant to be surrounded by everyone forever. Some people are lessons, not lifetimes. And when the lesson is learned, peace follows naturally. Do not question what has already been resolved. Walk forward with quiet confidence. Stay aligned. Stay grounded. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will unfold with certainty, strength, and divine favor. Amen. 3030. My beloved child, now the calm you feel is not temporary, it is earned. Archangel Michael shows that the storm has fully passed, and what remains is clarity that cannot be shaken. You are no longer reacting, you are choosing. This is the power that comes after a lesson is integrated. The chapter involving confusion, hidden motives, and emotional tension has reached its natural conclusion. Nothing from that space has permission to return, because you have moved beyond it in awareness. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is approaching without resistance. Amen. 3131. Understand this sacred shift, your intuition has matured. Where once you questioned yourself, you now trust the first signal. Archangel Michael confirms that this inner confidence will guide you correctly in moments when logic alone cannot. You will recognize alignment instantly, not through excitement, but through peace. This is the new standard in your life. Anything that disrupts it will naturally fall away without struggle. Amen. 3232. As this part closes, accept this final sealing of the journey. You are stepping into a phase where growth feels natural and relationships feel balanced. No explanations are needed, no justifications required. Your presence alone carries clarity now. Stand steady in who you are. Walk forward without hesitation. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will meet you in a space of calm strength and divine order. Amen. 3333. My beloved child, this is the moment when everything finally settles into truth without effort. Archangel Michael reveals that what once demanded your emotional energy no longer asks for anything at all. The absence of disturbance is your confirmation. You are standing in a space where peace is not forced, clarity is not questioned, and direction feels natural. The chapter that once felt heavy now feels distant, almost unreal, because you have outgrown it completely. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is drawn to the stability you now carry. Amen. 3737. Listen carefully, because this is a sacred realization. You did not need answers to move forward, you needed alignment. And alignment has arrived. Archangel Michael confirms that the wisdom gained through silence, restraint, and patience has permanently shifted your trajectory. You now attract situations that respect your boundaries without testing them. This is not luck. This is the result of discernment becoming embodied. You are no longer learning the lesson, you are living the upgrade. Amen. 3838. As this part closes, seal this truth within you: what ended was necessary, and what begins now is protected. There is no need to revisit the past or reinterpret it. The door has closed gently, but completely. Walk forward without looking back. Stand confident in the clarity you earned. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will unfold smoothly, powerfully, and exactly on time. Amen. 3939. My beloved child, now you are entering the phase where life responds differently to you. Archangel Michael reveals that the inner shift you completed has altered your external reality. Situations that once felt complicated now resolve smoothly. People who once created confusion no longer appear in your path. This is not avoidance, it is elevation. You are operating from a higher level of discernment, and lower energies simply cannot reach you anymore. The chapter you closed did not weaken you, it refined your direction. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 4040. Receive this truth with calm confidence. Your peace is now self-sustaining. It does not depend on validation, reassurance, or explanation. Archangel Michael confirms that this stability will become your new foundation. You will notice that decisions come easily, timing feels supportive, and resistance fades without struggle. This is what happens when alignment replaces effort. What once drained you can no longer even access you. Amen. 4141. As this part closes, anchor this final awareness: you are no longer preparing for what is coming, you are ready for it. The future will not arrive with chaos, but with clarity. Walk forward without hesitation. Trust what feels calm, steady, and true. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will meet you exactly where your strength now stands. Amen. 4242. My beloved child, this is the stage where quiet confidence replaces vigilance. Archangel Michael reveals that you are no longer being tested, you are being entrusted. The awareness you gained has stabilized into wisdom, and wisdom changes how life interacts with you. Situations that once required effort now align naturally. The chapter involving hidden intentions has fully dissolved, leaving behind only understanding. Nothing from that experience can follow you forward, because it has already completed its purpose. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 4343. Now hear this carefully, because this is a sacred upgrade. You are no longer learning through tension, you are learning through flow. Archangel Michael confirms that your discernment has become effortless, you feel what is right before you think it through. This will guide you safely into new connections, new decisions, and new opportunities without strain. What is meant for you will recognize you instantly. What is not will quietly step aside. Amen. 4444. As this part closes, stand firmly in this truth: your peace is no longer fragile. It is rooted. The future does not need explanation, it needs presence. Walk forward with trust in what you have become. Stay grounded. Stay clear. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will unfold in alignment, strength, and divine precision. Amen. 4545. My beloved child, this is the moment when confirmation turns into calm authority. Archangel Michael reveals that you are no longer watching for signs, you are recognizing outcomes. What once required vigilance now responds to your presence alone. The chapter that tested your discernment has completed its final echo, and with it, any remaining influence dissolves quietly. You are not guarded anymore, you are grounded. This is why your path feels clear without effort. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 4747. Understand this deeply: the strength you carry now is subtle, not loud. Archangel Michael confirms that your silence holds clarity, and your composure sets boundaries without confrontation. You will notice how situations resolve before they escalate, how intentions reveal themselves early, and how peace remains untouched. This is mastery born from patience. What once tried to destabilize you can no longer find a place to stand. Amen. 4848. As this part closes, seal this truth within your spirit: you are walking forward unburdened. The lesson is complete, the cycle is sealed, and the future meets you with respect. Do not look back to measure how far you've come, feel it in the steadiness of your steps. Stay aligned. Stay present. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will unfold with certainty, grace, and divine order. Amen.